Welcome to the Windows Computer and Technology channel. And, if we talk about top annoyances for Windows 11, the number one is probably the minimum requirements. Of all the complaints that I can see and all the complaints that we can gather, the minimum requirements has been the biggest issue. It started out with Microsoft not being totally fair, giving a minimum requirement that did not actually tell us the whole picture. It started out with, it seems like any computer can run Windows 11, and then we started reading a little more to understand, okay, no, it's actually, eighth generation or later that can run it in Intel processors and so on, and all of those, and TPM 2.0. Actually, the big controversy became with the TPM thing, which was the first major hurdle until you start looking at it and you notice that TPM 2.0 has been implemented in most computers sold for a while now. It's just that for some reason it isn't turned on for a lot of people. Now, that moved from that seemed to be a big problem to no, the biggest problem is actually the minimum requirements with the processors themselves. And it is very arbitrary the way that they did it. The minimum requirements for Windows 11 are based, according to Microsoft, on security. Yet, you know what? There isn't really nothing more that's using more security in Windows 11. Not saying that it won't be in the future. Definitely having the TPM 2.0 and the way that Windows 11 actually goes forward could technically make it more secure with some of these new technologies. But the problem is that it's not demonstrated, and if you start looking at it, a lot of people are running it by, of course, tweaking the install so that it actually, doesn't have check for these minimum requirements, and they end up having Windows 11 on older systems. And a lot of the comments you'll get from people on the older systems is, works fine on my machine. I don't see why that minimum requirement is happening. Even Microsoft backed off in a way. And what I mean by that is that, they, started telling everybody, if you download the image from our website, the image is actually on a clean install capable of installing on hardware that's not compatible, technically. So unsupported is the correct word because it is compatible. It's just unsupported. But it tell you, at the same time, if you do it at your own risk because that's the way it's going to be, and that's it. So they opened a loophole that people can use, and a lot of people have used it. And of course, if you use tools like Rufus to create images that install Windows, Rufus has an automatic process that can remove all the requirements, making you install Windows 11 on pretty much any Windows 10 machine. Of course, the minimum requirements include 64 bits only for Windows 11, which for me is not a problem. There were some complaints of that, but I think 32-bit operating systems are a thing of the past. We are moving on, and we've been to 64 bits now for a long time. The minimum requirements are blocking a lot of computers from upgrading to Windows 11, and some people would have liked to go on. Now, the other thing that you have to remember, and I get this here all the time, is like, people can bypass. People don't know how to do that, and that's the thing you got to understand. There is a difference between the enthusiast that's following my channel that, of course, will find that way to do it, but the majority of people are not there. They're not, I don't know how to bypass. I don't even know how to clean install. I don't know how to. So we have to look at that side, is that the majority of people can't move forward to Windows 11 if you don't have a supported machine, and the majority of people will get Windows 11 or whatever else the day they buy a new PC, pretty much. So all of that is, of course, also, I think, stopping the progress of Windows 11. Its market share is not increasing much. And minimum requirements has part of the problem. The other thing, of course, PC sales are slowing down fast right now. So that also will make Windows 11 a little harder to gain momentum, I would guess. The majority of people are staying on Windows 10, which is fine anyways. But it is the biggest annoyance and the biggest non-explained clearly reasons. Microsoft just can't tell you really. They talk about that, extra feature of security and so on, but there's no demonstration, no proof of concept. It's just, we need to have that minimum requirement for Windows 11 for security. Yeah, well, show us, because right now there's nothing much happening more than in Windows 10 in terms of security. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, give us thumbs up. Thank you for watching.